So the Asmon situation is not that crazy, and I apologize for my microphone sounding like crap the last time I did it. And I didn't have my mic turned towards me, and I didn't have the mixing board turned on. Probably why it sounded like crap. Let me show you something else really quick. If you go to my comments, there's this new AI auto reply thing on the comments. Can't see that, but look here. I can reply. He said, going to make a video on the Asmongold situation. Now that's too much drama. I'm here for the books. Or I can say, not really, but you should check out the stream he did with a bunch of other streamers about the drama. It was funny. Like, the AI knows what to say. Like, it's an auto chat reply. Like, it knows the situation based on the most, I don't know, that's weird. Anyway, the situation with Palestine. He said basically that all the Palestinians were, what did he say? It was a lesser culture. The culture was inferior, which is kind of like Nazi kind of talk, but it's also, I feel like he just read some stuff or watched some stuff about the situation with Iran, like funding all these countries to do terrorism, and like they are like super Shia Muslims, super religious. Like this is all coming from my friend from Kurdistan. And by the way, he went back to Kurdistan 2 months ago. He's supposed to have been back like on the 15th, like 4 days ago. Haven't heard from him. I haven't texted him, so I don't know if he's alive. Anyway, everything I'm about to say pretty much is just stuff I learned from him and studying about Islam and the situation over there. First of all, let me point you to this. Let me make sure this is on screen good. Yeah, this is a map of the Palestine-controlled areas in green and the Jewish-controlled areas in white. From 1946 on the left to when it was mostly all Palestine. Because World War II, is that when the Jews left Israel? I don't know. Like, you've got Ashkenazi Jews that kind of left Israel and they went to like Germany and Poland, places like that. And you've got the Sephardim that went like Egypt and like southern like places in the Middle East. And then I think a lot of those immigrated to America. So that's where like most of the Jews went. I think I heard that somewhere like from Ari Shafir on a podcast one time. So then after the Holocaust, a lot of the Ashkenazis got killed. So I think they started moving back to Israel 1946 after the war. Does that would make sense? So like basically it's like a property rights thing. Like, do you believe somebody leaves their land and they come back, they deserve it? Or if somebody moves in, like, there's this whole thing. Like, I saw a video one time where the Palestinian people were, like, going to some religious parade or something. And these Jewish people were rushing into their apartment with mattresses and just, like, trying to claim the land and taking it over. And it's like you have these situations where two groups of people are claiming the same house or apartment, and like they'll just stand on each other's doorsteps until one of them leaves and then they want to rush in and take it over or something weird like that. I'm not really sure how that works. But like in 1947, the UN kind of divided the land evenly, and then 67, they lost a lot of land except for like the Gaza Strip and the central part. I think because Israel was supposed to be like super fertile and like even in the Bible times, they were saying, like, you could grow anything there, and it's a really good place to, like, grow crops. I think that's why Russians want Ukraine, because it's supposed to be, like, the breadbasket of the world, and it's, like, one of the main sources of wheat in the world. Because Russia is kind of historically known, like, with the Bolshevik Revolution and stuff, about people starving, and it's super cold, and you can't grow anything there except, like, potatoes, which they make vodka. And it's not this whole situation. It's about resources. And the religious places. They want to, like, have their own, like, Shia Muslims are super into religion. This is the problem. Like, that's all they care about, according to my friend. Like he says in Kurdistan, you know, they're kind of like Americans. They don't care about religion that much. They just want to live a happy life. They want to have a farm. They want to have their own house. And they want to have kids. And they want to play with animals and just be happy, fun times and do fun things and happy things all the time. Of course, everybody's going to say that. But the Shia Muslims, they do this thing where it's like self-flagellation, kind of like the Catholics used to do, except they take like swords, knives, put them on their head, and they smack them to do like this penance to show that they're like they love God for some. I don't know how that shows it, but they do all this weird stuff, and there's like clips of them shooting themselves with AK-47s in the stomach, where it's not gonna kill you, but it's gonna hurt real bad. Like that one spot in the movies where everybody gets shot and they always survive it. Like they do stupid shit like that, and they go on these pilgrimages to holy sites where these caliphs that have been given tombs, like even a lot of the characters from the Bible, like the Old Testament and stuff. My friend had been to the tomb of the guy Jonah in the whale. It's called Yunus, I think, in Arabic. So all these places you can put money into them and donate the money, and the money goes to Iran and like these terrorist organizations. That's how kind of like they fund it. And you've also got all these Shia Muslims living in Dearborn, Michigan, and like Nashville, Tennessee, and places like that. That when they make money, they send it overseas, and that gets funded to terrorists. And it's all kind of like, why is nobody looking into this? But so since they're like, I'm sure there has to be some Shia Muslims that are not for like this whole thing, but like with like me and my friend at work were talking about this. Like if you're like a lot of these people in Iran, they want to be modernized. They want to like be able to wear pants again, and they want to like not be killed for. This is one of the things Asmongold says is like if it's baked into your laws that you get killed and stuff for like just being a human being, tortured and stuff. My friend from Kurdistan, he tells me this story about even in Kurdistan, which is like a modernized country, it's not like this. This is like considered we kind of neutral on this. If you have a sister and she becomes a stripper, he says, yeah, the brothers will probably like take her out of there and go kill her. And I'm like, what? You'd kill somebody for being a stripper? Because it's such an insult to your family, I guess? And he was like, I said, so if your sister became a stripper, you would kill her? And he's like, I don't think she would do that. He didn't say no. He didn't say no, I wouldn't go kill my own sister. He said, nah, I don't think she would ever do that. So, think how much worse it must be in Tehran, right? So, these Hajjs, let me explain a little bit of history of Islam from what I know about it. If you know anything about Mormons, Mormons are basically Christianity plus. Like they got this extra Book of Mormon that was supposedly an angel came down and spoke to Joseph Smith and like give him this extra Bible, right? Islam is kind of like that, but on crack times 1,000. So the story, blah blah blah, Muhammad, sallallahu salah. I don't want you to say that every time you say his name. He went up to heaven on a horse, and he met all the previous prophets, because Islam is like the whole story of the Bible, like all the prophets from Adam to Noah to Moses to like Ezekiel, all these prophets. There's like 24 of them, and then I think Jesus was 25th, and they call him Isa. They all are people that actually spoke directly to God in physical form or whatever, right? And they're all on the bloodline of Jesus. They're all like related to each other through grandpas or uncles or cousins or something. They're all in this bloodline. And I've seen a couple of different ones about, let's see here. Let's look at this one first. So Ibrahim, which is Abraham, had a son named Ishmael. And Ishmael's bloodline goes directly to Muhammad. According to this, you've got Isaac and Jacob and Moses and Joseph and David. And then Jesus is from the line of David. Now, I saw a different chart and a different video by Muslims that said Jesus' mother, of course, she was a virgin, supposedly, so he can't be, Joseph can't be part of the bloodline because he didn't really give birth to, or have sex with Mary, right? So Mary's mother, or grandpa, I think it was her grandpa, so Jesus' great-grandpa, he had a different son. That line went straight down to Muhammad, I think. Sallallahu whatever. So that's how Muhammad is supposed to be like in the bloodline of Jesus. That's why he's important. And he went to heaven on this winged horse, and he met all these prophets, and he came down, and he was illiterate, so he couldn't write the Quran. So I think he had Usman, whatever, write the Quran for him. So if we go back up here, so after he died, the first caliph. This is the companions, what they call them, of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman, and his wife, Aisha. Aisha was like his third wife, I think. You can have multiple wives. And when he married her, she was like 9. I think the first time he slept with her, she was like 12. So, and they would say like, yeah, she was 12 when they had sex. So it's fine. It's like she wasn't 9 anymore. People like apologize for whatever. It's weird. Anyway, also Fatima was his daughter, right? So Fatima married his cousin Ali ibn, what was his name? Ali ibn Talib. So according to this chart, the Sunnis, when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam died, he said Ali, his cousin, was like maybe 9 or something at the time. He was like too young to be a caliph. So he said, I want my friend Abu Bakr to be next. And Abu Bakr was this guy. It was like his nickname was Abu Bakr because it means like father of the young camel, because he liked camels when he was a kid. And after he died, like these guys didn't live for long. Like you can see, he was only like caliph for 2 years. I think it was all these guys always get assassinated for some reason. Umar was caliph for 10 years. I think he was assassinated. And then Usman, 644 to 656. So that's like 12 years. So then they made Ali the caliph. And the Shias say that Ali should have been the first one. So they don't recognize these 3, the companions, because they were just his friends. They're out in the bloodline of Jesus. They don't really count. They call him the al-Bayt, which is like the house of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The whatever, his close companions and friends, family. So that's what the big split is about. And after Ali, you had Hassan, and then you had Hussein, and then this Caliph 6, Muawiyah, I haven't heard of him. So I guess that's like the Umayyad Caliphate keeps going down one line. And then they started another caliphate with the Shias. The Al-Rashid, I think it was called. Something like that. So there was another incident where I think Abu Bakr, for some reason, they were fighting and he slapped Fatima, which was the daughter of the Prophet. So that caused a big rift too. And then when Ali became the caliph, there was this war called the Battle of the Camel. That was Aisha, his third wife, and some of the other companions. They got this whole group together and they had this big Battle of the Camel, and that really like solidified the split between the whatever, Shia and the Sunni. So I'm sure it's about more than that, but I don't understand. Like my friend couldn't tell me either. He doesn't understand like what's the big deal with Ali. Why do they love Ali ibn Talib so much? They worship him even more than the Prophet and Hussein and Hassan too. So their tombs are like crazy popular destinations if you want to go on pilgrimages if you're a Shia. And they have holidays like to go to what was the name of that town? There's all these stories he told me about, like they invited somebody to Iraq from Saudi Arabia and then they killed him when they got there, and they still like go there on pilgrimages for some reason. I can't remember the name of it right now. But like even in like Dearborn, Michigan, they'll do like this mock parade going to this place for this certain holiday. It's not Ramadan, I don't think, but anyhow. So Shia Muslims are basically funded by Iran. And it's weird because all in these countries, like everybody speaks a different language. Like the Kurdish have 3 different languages just in their region, and you've got like Arabic in Saudi Arabia and southern Iraq, and you've got Persian or Farsi or whatever in Iran, and the Jews speak Hebrew. Like all these places, they speak different languages, so it's real confusing. Like why they would follow Iran specifically. But anyway, the main 3 bad guys he told me about are this guy, Muqtada al-Sadr, and these are the guys that run the militia groups in Baghdad and southern Iraq, where basically the government can't control them. They're like, he says Saddam Hussein was way better than having all these militia groups because at least he was keeping everybody in line, you know. And Saddam Hussein was Sunni. These guys are all like super pro Shia, super pro like terrorism and funding all these like Yemen and Palestine, like Hamas and Hezbollah. So there's another guy, Kais al-Khazali and Hadi al-Amri. These are like the main three bad dudes in Iraq. Anyway, so I mean, I'm sure there's people in Palestine that are not bad people, but they're probably still Shia Muslims. And if you ask them to like kill somebody in America for the religion, they would probably do it. I mean, does that make someone bad? Yeah, kind of does. Does that mean they all deserve to be genocided? Probably not. But then you look at like Israel, they're doing basically war crimes and genocide. Like the whole thing with intercepting the walkie-talkies and the pagers and replacing them with explosives and doing all that's like against the Geneva Conventions, I'm sure. Like, it's crazy. So I don't really. I was kind of pro-Palestine based on the property rights thing, but then I'm like, if they're all Shia Muslims, I can't really be pro-Palestine either, but I can't be pro-Israel either because they're just as bad. And I can't really be pro-United States because we're helping Israel and acting like it's not a big deal. So it's just like, I don't really like anybody. Everybody's doing bad things. Why is everybody doing bad things? I don't know. That doesn't even make sense. Why are you worshiping Ali and Hussein so much? Like, don't make more sense. It doesn't make sense. Explain it to me. What is so great about Ali ibn Talib and Hussein? But that's kind of the situation as I understand it. Now, Asmongold being banned probably isn't going to be very long because they've got people that get completely naked on Twitch and they get banned for like 3 days and they come right back. There's another thing about like Alinity I don't understand. Like she's been completely naked lately on her OnlyFans because I have a website that like pretty much like has pictures from the and like videos from the OnlyFans that you don't have to pay for it. So I'm like, what is going on? Like she's in like all these other YouTubers' videos and they're just like cool with it and hanging out with her and like the OTK people and she's hanging out with them. It's like, do y'all know her pussy was like on display like last week? And, like, is this a big deal? Does anybody care about this? And apparently they don't care about this. It's like, I don't know. I guess you say like trans women are women and sex workers are real workers. I guess it's all fine and dandy. I don't know. I don't really know what to say about it. So, that's kind of my thoughts. What else was I going to talk about? Anything? I'll have to make another video, I guess, if I think of something. Oh, I got some more books to show you guys, but we'll do that in another video.